The spaceport was silent except for the heavy boots of guards dragging a prisoner down the metal corridor. The prisoner was not human. She was tall, with silver skin that shimmered faintly under the dim lights. Her long, dark hair was tied back, her hands locked in iron cuffs that sparked whenever she moved. She walked with her chin raised, proud even in chains. Humans and aliens alike stopped to stare. They whispered to each other. Some called her dangerous, some called her beautiful, and some just called her a prize of war. She ignored them all. Her violet eyes burned with defiance. At the end of the corridor, a young human officer leaned casually against the wall. His name was Carter. His uniform was worn, his boots dirty. Unlike the others, he did not whisper. He simply watched her with a strange calm. The guards shoved her forward. "Here she is," one said. "The alien beauty from the enemy fleet. We caught her trying to escape with a stolen shuttle. She refuses to speak, refuses to answer questions." Carter tilted his head. He stepped closer until he stood right in front of her. For a moment, silence filled the air. Everyone waited to see what he would do. Then Carter smiled, a small but bold smile. "Show me what that thing between your legs does, alien beauty," he said. The corridor went dead quiet. The guards' mouths opened in shock. Soldiers in the back stifled nervous laughter. The alien prisoner's eyes widened. She looked at him as if he had just insulted her entire bloodline. But Carter did not laugh. His eyes were serious. He was not mocking, he was challenging. Her lips parted. A soft sound escaped her throat. Not quite a laugh, not quite a snarl. "You do not know what you ask," she whispered in a voice smooth. As flowing water, Carter folded his arms. "Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but I think you're hiding something. I think whatever power you carry, it's not in your hands or your head. It's in the part no one dares to ask about." The guards shifted uncomfortably. One muttered, "He's crazy. She'll kill him." But she did not attack. Instead, she leaned closer. Her chains clinked as her body moved just enough that her face hovered near his. Her breath was cold. "If I show you, human, you will not survive the sight." Carter did not flinch. His heart beat fast, but his voice was steady. "Then prove it." A murmur spread among the soldiers. No one had dared speak to her like this. The alien beauty had been silent for days, refusing to cooperate. Yet now she was speaking, her pride stirred by one human's reckless words. Her eyes narrowed, studying him. Her mind raced. Was this human foolhardy or cunning? Did he know the truth of what she carried? Or was he bluffing, gambling with his life just to break her silence? Carter waited, his hands behind his back. His calm posture made it clear he would not back down. The silence stretched, heavy with tension, until finally, she gave a low, dangerous smile. "You want to see?" she whispered. "You want me to reveal what lies between my legs? Then you must free me. Only then can you witness the truth." The guards shouted at once, "Don't listen. She's trying to trick you." Another raised his weapon. "She'll escape the moment those cuffs come off." But Carter raised a hand, stopping them. His eyes stayed locked on hers. "You think I'm afraid? You think I'll hesitate?" "No, alien beauty, I don't fear the truth, I want it." Her heart jolted. For the first time since her capture, she felt a spark of respect, maybe even curiosity. This human was different. He did not treat her as an object nor as a weak prisoner. He treated her as someone holding a secret worth discovering. The soldiers around them whispered nervously. Some laughed under their breath. Others shook their heads. None could understand why Carter was doing this, but Carter knew. Deep inside, he felt something was hidden, something that could change everything. This alien was not just beautiful, not just proud. She carried power, a mystery locked within her, and Carter was the only one bold or foolish enough to demand it revealed. The alien leaned back slowly, her smile never fading. "Very well, human. You asked for it. Remember your words, remember this moment. For once I show you, nothing will ever be the same." Her voice dripped with promise and threat. The guards looked uneasy. Carter's pulse raced, and the audience of soldiers leaned in, caught between horror and fascination. The corridor, once filled with silence, now trembled with anticipation. The strange request had been made, and the answer promised. But what truth would be revealed? And would the human survive it? The moment stretched, the air heavy, as everyone waited for the alien beauty to make her move. The corridor was still buzzing with whispers after Carter's bold challenge. The alien beauty stood tall in her chains, her violet eyes never leaving. His face, her smile, was dangerous like the edge of a blade. Carter did not look away. He knew the guards thought he had lost his mind. He could feel their fear pressing in around him. But he also knew something they did not. He had seen her once before, not here, but in the middle of the battlefield. For a split second, before she was captured, he had seen a flash of light around her body. It was not from a weapon, it was something else, something hidden deep inside her. The guard shoved her forward. "Back to the cell," one shouted. "She's playing with you, officer." But before they could drag her away, Carter raised his hand, his voice cut through the noise, calm and sharp. "No, keep her here. She has something to show us, don't you see? She hasn't spoken a word until now, and all it took was one question." The guards hesitated. They glanced at each other nervously, unsure whether to follow orders or listen to him. The alien prisoner tilted her head, amused. "You are not, like the others, human. The rest fear me, they call me a monster, but you—" She paused, her lips curling. "You dare to ask what no one else dares?" Carter's eyes narrowed. "Maybe I'm tired of lies. Maybe I'm tired of prisoners who pretend to be powerless. I think you want me to see. You want me to know the truth." For the first time, her proud mask slipped. Just for an instant, her eyes softened, then hardened again. She leaned closer, whispering so only he could hear. "If you force me to reveal it here in front of all these men, their blood will soak this floor." Carter's jaw clenched. He felt the weight of her words. He believed her. Whatever secret she carried was not small, not harmless. The guard shouted again, dragging at her chains. Sparks of blue light crackled from her cuffs as she resisted. That faint glow, the same glow Carter had seen on the battlefield, flickered. Again, faint but real, every soldier stepped back. Weapons raised, fear spread through them like wildfire. "Hold your fire," Carter barked, his voice steady though his pulse thundered in his ears. "You shoot now, you'll doom us all." The alien beauty closed her eyes. For a moment, her body trembled. The sparks from her cuffs danced brighter, flickering like lightning. Across her silver skin, the air smelled of ozone, sharp and electric. One soldier cursed, "She's charging something!" Another pointed his rifle. "Permission to fire." "No!" Carter's voice roared. "Stand down!" And then it happened. A sudden burst of light exploded around her. A sphere of violet energy flared from her body, racing across the metal corridor. The guards stumbled back, shielding their faces. Sparks flew from the walls. The air itself seemed to hum with power. In the chaos, she stood calm, her eyes glowing. She spoke with a voice that echoed unnaturally. "You wish to see what lies between my legs, human? Then look." Her chains rattled as the glowing sparks spread downward. The cuffs tried to hold her, but her body's energy pulsed stronger. From her lower body, a strange light shimmered. Not crude, not vulgar, but alive. It was like watching an alien heart beating outside its chest, a living source of energy, raw and untamed. The soldiers gasped. Some fell to their knees, others scrambled for cover. None had ever seen power like this. Carter alone stood firm, his eyes locked on hers, his voice steady. "So it's true. You carry a reactor inside you." Her smile widened. "Not a reactor, a womb of stars, a gift of my people, and a curse. For wherever I go, death follows." The sphere of violet light dimmed, shrinking back into her body. The sparks faded, but the air still vibrated with the memory of power. Her chains smoked, weakened by the surge. Silence followed, broken only by the hiss of damaged lights flickering above them. The guards stared. In horror, their faces pale. Weapons trembling in their hands, Carter exhaled slowly. "You could have killed them all, but you didn't. Why?" The alien beauty's gaze softened only slightly. "Because you asked, human. You did not demand, you did not mock, you asked. And in asking, you gave me reason to show restraint." For a long moment, neither spoke. Their eyes held us silent, understanding that others could not grasp. The guards broke the moment with panicked shouts. "She's too dangerous. Lock her down now." But Carter lifted his hand again. "No, don't touch her." His voice was low, commanding. "You saw what she can do. You put her back in a cell, and you risk setting off something none of us can stop." The soldiers hesitated, torn between fear and obedience. The alien prisoner tilted her head, watching Carter closely. "You defend me now, human, but soon your own kind will turn against you." Carter allowed himself the smallest smile. "Maybe, but I've never been good at following the crowd." Her eyes gleamed with curiosity, and for the first time, respect. She whispered, "Perhaps you are worthy after all." The corridor still smelled of burned metal. The light still flickered weakly. And yet the real spark was between them. A dangerous, unspoken connection that had begun with a strange request. What came next would decide both their fates. The corridor was left in ruins, lights flickering, smoke curling from the walls where the alien beauty's energy had sparked. The guards still whispered in fear, clutching their rifles. Their eyes darted to Carter as if he had summoned death itself. But Carter remained calm. His gaze stayed locked on the alien. He had asked, and she had answered, not with words, but with power. And though her secret was terrifying, he felt no regret. He had seen the truth, and the truth was worth the risk. The alien beauty stood tall despite her chains. Her violet glow faded slowly, leaving only her silver skin shining under the broken lights. Her lips curved in a quiet smile, not mocking, not cruel, but knowing. "You wanted to see, human," she whispered. "Now you know. What lies between my legs is not weakness, not shame. It is the womb of my people's strength, a living power that can create or destroy." Carter's heart pounded. In his chest, he tried to keep his face steady. "Then tell me, why hide it? Why pretend to be powerless when this—" He gestured to the scorched walls. "Is inside you." She lowered her eyes for the first time. A shadow passed over her face. "Because humans are not the first to ask. They all demanded. They all tried to take. And when they took, they turned my gift into a weapon. Millions burned because I trusted. The wrong hands." The words silenced the room. Even the guard stopped breathing for a moment. Her confession was heavy, dripping with memory and loss. Carter felt the weight of it, but he didn't back away. "So you'd rather stay in chains? Let them treat you like a prisoner? Like a prize of war?" Her violet eyes lifted to meet his, sharp again. "Better chains than slaughter, better silence than genocide." Carter took a step closer, ignoring the shouts of the guards behind him. "I don't believe you showed me this only to scare me. You could have ended me right here, but you didn't. You wanted me to understand, didn't you?" The alien beauty tilted her head, studying him, her lips curved into the faintest smile. "You listen, human, that makes you dangerous, more dangerous than any soldier here." A guard interrupted, his voice trembling. "Sir, we can't let this continue. She's unstable. We have to lock her down or kill her before she unleashes more of that thing." Carter spun around, his voice sharp. "No, lower your weapons." But the guards hesitated. Their fear was stronger than their loyalty. And then, suddenly, the alien beauty laughed, a sound like glass breaking. "Do you see, human? Even when you defend me, your kind reaches for the trigger." Her cuffs sparked again, the glow pulsing through her veins. The soldiers raised their rifles in panic. "Wait!" Carter shouted. His hand shot out, pressing against her arm before. The light could erupt. For an instant, the energy coursed into his body, searing hot. His teeth clenched, but he did not pull away. The alien's eyes widened. She stared at him in shock. You touched it. No human has ever touched it and lived." Carter's breath came fast, sweat on his brow, but he forced a smile. "Guess I'm not like the others." The glow dimmed. The sparks faded as if her power itself was listening to his will. Slowly, the humming energy quieted, leaving only silence. The guards lowered their rifles in disbelief, their jaws slack. None could explain what they had just witnessed. Carter released her arm, shaking slightly but still standing, his voice steady. Now you know I'm not here to take from you. I'm here to help." She looked at him for a long time, searching. His face for lies, for tricks, but all she saw was stubborn determination. His eyes did not carry greed, only resolve. Finally, she whispered, almost to herself, "Perhaps you are worthy. Perhaps the stars chose well." Carter raised a brow. "The stars?" She nodded slowly. "My people believe our gifts are bound by destiny. We are chosen to carry power, but also burden. I thought I was cursed, but maybe I was meant to meet you." The words sent a chill down Carter's spine. He had not expected this. Connection, trust, almost fate. Before he could answer, alarms blared across the spaceport. Red lights flashed, and a metallic voice shouted from the walls. "Containment breach detected. Alien prisoner destabilizing. All units respond." The soldiers scrambled in panic. "See?" one shouted. "The system knows she's dangerous. We can't control her." The alien beauty lifted her chin, her chains glowing faintly again. "You cannot cage the power of stars," she said softly. "If they come for me, more will die." Carter stepped between her and the soldiers, his voice hard. "Then let me be the one to decide. I'm taking her out of here. She's not your weapon, and she's not your prisoner." The guards stared at him in shock. "Are you mad? That's treason." Carter didn't care. His mind was made. He had seen the hidden power with his own eyes. He had touched it, survived it, and now he carried a truth no one else dared to hold. The alien beauty's eyes gleamed with something, new, trust, maybe even hope. As the alarms wailed and soldiers surrounded them, one thing was clear. The secret was out, and nothing would ever be the same. The alarm screamed across the spaceport. Red lights flashed, painting the corridor in blood-like color. The guards tightened their grip on their rifles, their eyes darting nervously between Carter and the alien beauty. "Step away from her, officer," one guard shouted. "She's unstable. The system flagged her for termination. You're protecting a weapon." Carter stood tall, his body squarely between the alien and the soldiers, his voice cut through the noise, calm but sharp. "She's not a weapon. She's a person. You all saw it. She had the power to kill every one of us, but she didn't." The guards muttered, their fear twisting into anger. "Or maybe she's waiting for the right moment." Another hissed. Behind Carter, the alien beauty remained, still her silver skin glowing faintly under the flashing red light. Her violet eyes studied him, not the soldiers. Her voice was soft, almost curious. "Why risk yourself for me, human? Your kind does not trust mine. They will call you traitor." Carter didn't look back. His hand rested near his holster, but he didn't draw his weapon. Because trust has to start somewhere. If not with me, then with who? If not now, then when? Her lips curved in a faint smile, but her eyes shimmered with doubt. She had seen humans promise before. She had seen them break those promises when fear grew stronger than faith. The soldiers began to close in, their boots echoing against the metal floor. The alien beauty's cuff sparked again, her energy reacting to the rising threat. The air hummed with tension. "Don't," Carter whispered over his shoulder. "If you unleash it now, they'll never see you as anything but a monster." Her breath caught. His words struck deep. He was not commanding her. He was asking her, trusting her. And in that trust, she felt something she had almost forgotten. A choice. The lead guard barked, "Stand down, Carter. That's an order." Carter finally turned his head, his eyes hard. "And if I don't?" The guard hesitated. The barrels of rifles pointed at him now as much as at her. "Then you go down with her." The alien beauty stepped forward suddenly, her chains rattling. Her glow surged, forcing the soldiers to step back in alarm. Sparks leapt from her cuffs. Her voice rose above the alarms, strong and proud. "You fear what you do not understand. You call me weapon, but your fear makes you blind." The soldiers flinched, but Carter raised his hand, steady, calm. "Easy. Don't give them what they want. They want proof you're dangerous. Don't hand it to them." Her violet eyes flickered between his steady gaze and the trembling rifles pointed at her. Her body trembled with restrained power. Finally, she drew in a deep breath and slowly the sparks dimmed. Her glow faded to a soft shimmer. The soldiers froze, confused. One muttered, She's calming down? Carter's voice rang out firm. See, she made a choice. That's not a weapon, that's will, that's control. The lead guard's jaw clenched. He didn't want to admit it, but the proof was before his eyes. The alien beauty could restrain her power. She wasn't just a bomb, waiting to explode. Still, suspicion burned in their faces. The soldiers lowered their rifles only slightly. They didn't trust her, and they didn't trust Carter. The alien beauty tilted her head, speaking softly to Carter. Your people doubt you now, their loyalty to you weakens. Are you still certain of this path? Carter met her gaze. I've been certain from the moment you spoke. You could have stayed silent forever, but you chose me. That means something. Her lips parted, a small breath escaping her chest. She had lived years with suspicion and chains, but never with trust, yet this human. He was different, reckless, foolish maybe, but honest. The alarms continued to scream, but new footsteps echoed down the hall. Heavy boots, sharper voices. A squad of higher-ranking officers rushed. In their leader, a captain with cold eyes, scanned the scene at once. What's happening here? The captain barked. Why is the prisoner uncontained? Why is this corridor damaged? The lead guard stammered. Sir, the prisoner released some kind of energy. We almost lost containment. The captain's gaze snapped to Carter. And you? You stood in the way of protocol. You defended her? Carter straightened his back. I did. Because she showed restraint. Because she's more than what you think she is. The captain's lip curled. You sound like a man bewitched. She's not a person, she's a danger, and dangers are eliminated. At his signal, 2 soldiers moved forward with shock rods. Their tips crackled with blue electricity. The alien beauty tensed, her glow flickered. But Carter stepped in front of her again, his voice like steel. You'll have to go through me first. Gasps echoed from the soldiers. None expected him to defy direct orders so openly. The captain's eyes narrowed. You would risk your career, your life for her. Carter didn't hesitate. For the truth, yes. For the chance that she's not the monster you all think, yes. The alien beauty's breath hitched. For the first time in years, someone had stood between her and death. Not for power, not for control, but simply because he believed. Her violet eyes softened, and in a voice only he could hear, she whispered, Perhaps trust is not a weakness after all. The captain raised his hand to strike the order, but the glow from the alien's body pulsed softly, not violent this time, not explosive, just warm. The soldiers lowered their rods uncertainly. Caught, between command and the strange peace that filled the air, Carter's test had begun, his trust against their fear, his belief against their orders, and her restraint, the alien beauty's restraint, was the key to everything. The next choice would decide whether trust could survive or be crushed forever. The corridor was burning with tension. Soldiers stood frozen, their weapons raised but their hands shaking. The captain's command hung in the air, but no one moved. They had seen what the alien beauty could do, and they had seen her stop herself. That frightened them even more. Carter's jaw was tight. He kept himself in front of her, his voice steady. You want to kill her because you don't understand her. But what if she's the key? What if destroying her is the biggest mistake we could ever make? The captain sneered. Keys don't glow with death, officer. They don't burn corridors, they don't threaten lives. He raised his hand to give the order. Finish her. But before the words left his lips, the alien beauty moved. Her chains flared with light, sparks flying as her body twisted with alien grace. In one motion, she slammed her cuffs against the wall. The metal groaned and cracked under the surge of her energy. The restraints shattered with a sound like thunder. The soldier stumbled back in shock. She broke free. Someone shouted. Her violet glow burned bright again, but this time it was not wild. It was controlled. She raised her hands, her power forming a wall of light between herself and the squad. Bullets would not pass, shock rods would fail. She was shielded. Carter's heart pounded. He turned to her. What are you doing? Her voice was calm, steady. You trusted me, human. Now I trust you, but if we stay, I will die. And you with me, we must leave this place." Carter looked back at the soldiers. He could see it in their eyes. They were too afraid. They would never allow her to live. They would chase her until she was destroyed, and now, because of him, they would chase him too. He nodded once. "Then we run." The alien beauty's glow expanded, sweeping down the corridor in a blinding wave. Lights shattered, alarms crackled, and soldiers were thrown back like leaves in a storm. The captain cursed, "Stop them! Don't let them escape!" Carter grabbed her arm. Her skin burned hot with energy, but he didn't let go. Together they bolted through the haze of smoke and sparks. Boots pounded against the metal floor as more soldiers poured into the hallways. The spaceport shook with chaos. Sirens wailed. Voices shouted orders over the intercom. "All units, containment breach. Alien prisoner loose with human accomplice. Engage at all costs." They ran through winding corridors, Carter leading with memory of the station's layout. She followed, her glow dimmed just enough to avoid drawing every gun at once. But her eyes burned with determination. At one junction, 3 guards appeared, rifles raised. "Stop!" The alien beauty lifted her hand. Carter shouted, "No, don't kill them." Her violet light pulsed once. The guards screamed as their rifles melted in their hands, the metal drooping like wax. They fell back, unharmed but weaponless. She glanced at Carter, her voice low. "I listened. Human. They live." He met her eyes briefly, a small nod of thanks before they sprinted again. The hangar doors loomed ahead. Beyond them lay the stars, freedom. But between them and escape stood a wall of soldiers, dozens of rifles gleaming under. Harsh white lights. Carter slowed, his chest heaving, his mind raced. "There's too many, we won't make it through." The alien beauty stepped forward, her glow rising again. "Then let me clear the path." He caught her arm. "If you unleash it here, you'll kill them. You'll prove them right. They'll never stop hunting you." She stared at him, her eyes flickering with conflict. The power inside her begged to be released, but his words weighed heavy. Trust again. He was asking her to trust again. Finally, she nodded, her glow shrinking to a faint shimmer. "Then what do you suggest, human?" Carter scanned the hangar. His eyes locked on a maintenance shuttle parked at the far corner. Small, unguarded. Its engines hummed faintly as if waiting. "There," he said, pointing. "If we can reach it, we're gone." The alien beauty tilted, her head calculating the distance. "Dozens of guns between us," Carter smirked. "Yeah, but they're looking for a monster, not a man. I'll draw their fire." Her eyes widened. "You'll die." "Maybe," he admitted. "But if you don't get out, both of us die anyway. At least this way, you have a chance." For a long heartbeat, she stared at him, her lips parted as if to argue, but no words came. Instead, she whispered, "Foolish human." "Brave human." Carter grinned faintly. "Story of my life." Before she could stop him, he stepped forward into the open hangar. Hands raised, soldiers shouted, rifles locking onto him. "It's me you want," he yelled. His voice echoed through the chamber. "She's not your enemy." Gunfire exploded, bullets screamed past. Carter dove behind a crate, heart pounding. He risked a glance back. "Now!" The alien beauty burst from cover, her glow flaring not as a weapon but as a shield. The bullet sparked harmlessly against her energy as she sprinted toward the shuttle. Her chains trailed like broken relics at her feet. Carter dashed after her. Weaving between crates, soldiers shouted in confusion. Their bullets could not pierce her shield, and Carter stayed close enough to survive under its protection. The shuttle's ramp lowered with a hiss. Carter shoved her up first, then leapt inside as bullets rang off the hull. She slammed her hands against the controls. Her power surged through, the ship engines roaring to life in seconds. The captain's voice screamed over the comms. "Do not let them escape. Fire all cannons." The hangar doors began to close, cannons turning toward them, but the shuttle roared forward, violet light streaming from its engines like fire. The alien beauty's eyes glowed as she guided the ship. Carter strapped himself, Into the seat, gripping tight. The shuttle shot through the narrowing gap. Cannons blazed, explosions rocked the metal walls. But in one final burst, they broke free into the endless stars. The alarms and soldiers faded behind them. Ahead lay silence, freedom, and danger unknown. Carter leaned back, gasping, "We made it." The alien beauty glanced at him, her lips curving in a small smile. "For now, human. But the real escape has only just begun." The shuttle drifted into the dark void of space, stars stretching like endless diamonds across black velvet. Inside the cockpit, alarms still beeped faintly, warning of fuel strain and engine stress. But for the first time since the chaos began, there was silence. Carter slumped back in his seat, his chest heaving. Sweat dripped down his face, his hands trembled from the rush of adrenaline. Yet his eyes still carried fire. He had risked everything, and somehow, they were alive. Beside him, the alien beauty sat straight. Her silver skin glowed faintly. Her violet eyes scanned the stars through the viewport. Her hands rested calmly on the controls, guiding the shuttle forward with perfect steadiness. For a long moment, neither spoke. Only the hum of the engines filled the space. Between them, finally, Carter let out a rough laugh. "Well, that could have gone worse." Her head turned, her gaze landing on him, her lips curved into a faint smile. "You are strange, human. We escaped death, hunted by your own people, and you laugh?" He shrugged. "It's either laugh or lose my mind. I prefer the first option." Her smile lingered, soft and amused. Perhaps madness and courage are not so different. The silence settled again, but it was no longer heavy. It carried something new, something fragile. Trust. Carter leaned forward, his eyes narrowing at the stars. "They'll chase us, you know. We didn't just run. We humiliated them. The captain won't stop until he burns us from the sky." She nodded slowly. "I know. I have lived my life hunted. Your kind are not the first to fear me, and they will not be the last." Carter turned to her, his expression softer now. "Tell me, what are you, really? Not the prisoner, not the weapon, not the beauty in chains. Just you." Her eyes widened slightly. She looked away, her voice lower. "I am called Seraphis, last daughter of the Vailari, my people. We're gifted. We carried within us the womb of stars, a living energy that could heal worlds or destroy them. When the war came, others saw us not as people, but as tools. My sisters were taken, drained, until nothing remained. I alone survived." Carter's chest tightened. He heard no pride in her voice, only sorrow, only weight. He whispered, "I'm sorry." Her gaze returned to him, curious. "Why speak that word? You did not take my people, you did not chain me." "Maybe not," Carter said. "But I wear the same uniform as the ones who did. Doesn't matter if it was me or not. Sometimes being human means owning what humans have done." Her eyes studied him, searching for deception. Instead, she found sincerity, raw and unpolished. A warmth spread in her chest she hadn't felt in years. "You are unlike the others," she whispered. "They see only what I can give you. You see me?" Carter gave a tired grin. "Guess I've always been bad at following the crowd." Her lips parted as if to speak, but no words came. Instead, she leaned back, closing her eyes for a moment. The violet glow beneath her skin dimmed softly, like a flame learning to rest instead of burn. Minutes passed, the shuttle sailing through empty space. Carter adjusted a few switches, scanning the radar. "We need fuel, food, somewhere to hide. They'll track us soon enough." Seraphis tilted her head. "There is a moon nearby, uninhabited but rich in minerals. If we land, I can feed the shuttle with my energy. It will sustain us until we decide where to go." Carter frowned. "Won't that weaken you?" She smiled faintly. "Perhaps, but I am not fragile, human. My power renews with time, just as stars burn and rest." Carter hesitated, then nodded. "All right, show me the way." As the shuttle curved toward the distant moon, Carter's thoughts wandered. He stole a glance at her, silver skin glowing like starlight, hair dark as the void, eyes brighter than any star outside. She was dangerous, yes, but also something else, something he couldn't name yet. She felt his gaze and turned, catching him, her lips curled. Do all humans stare so boldly? Carter coughed, looking away quickly. Just making sure you're not about to burn a hole through the controls. Her laugh was soft, like water against stone. It filled the cabin, warm and strange. Carter realized it was the first time he had heard her laugh. On the moon's barren surface, they landed. The shuttle groaned as the engines cooled. Carter unbuckled and stood, stretching sore muscles. He glanced at Seraphis. So, how exactly do you feed a ship? She rose gracefully, stepping to the center console. She placed her hands on the metal, closing her eyes. At once, her glow brightened, her body humming with energy. A violet stream poured from her into the shuttle, lights flickering alive, system stabilizing. Carter watched, awe filling his chest. You're incredible, he whispered without thinking. Her eyes opened, meeting his. Her glow softened, and for a moment, her proud mask slipped. She looked almost vulnerable. Incredible. Or unnatural. Both, Carter said honestly. But sometimes, the most unnatural things are the most worth protecting. For a heartbeat, silence hung heavy between them. Her violet eyes locked on his. His steady gaze never wavered. In that silence, something shifted. Something fragile but real. Trust had become bond, and bond was turning into something deeper, something neither of them had expected. Outside, the stars burned cold and endless. But inside the shuttle, warmth flickered between a human and an alien who had every reason to be enemies, yet chose something else. The barren moon lay silent under a black sky. The shuttle rested in a shallow crater, its engines still glowing faintly from Seraphis's energy. Carter paced outside, boots crunching against the dust. His eyes scanned. The heavens, he knew it was only a matter of time before the hunters came. Inside the shuttle, Seraphis sat with her eyes closed, gathering strength. Her silver skin glimmered faintly under the dim lights. The bond she shared with Carter had calmed the fire within her, but it also scared her. She had never let herself trust so much, not since her people fell. Then the radar screamed. Carter rushed inside. They found us, he said, his voice low but steady. Seraphis opened her eyes. Her violet gaze burned. How many? Carter checked the screen. His stomach tightened. Too many. A whole fleet. They want you at any cost. She stood, her chains still hanging broken at her wrists like shadows of her past. Her glow brightened. Then they will have to see my power. Carter caught her arm. No, not like before. If you burn them all, you'll only prove them right. They'll call you a monster for the rest of time. Her lips pressed tight. And what do you suggest, human? They will not listen to words. They will come with guns, with fire, with hunger for my blood. Carter's eyes locked on hers. Then we show them something different. Not destruction, not fear. Something they can't deny. We fight, but not to kill. We fight to protect. For a moment she stared at him, torn. But then slowly her breath steadied, her glow dimmed into a controlled shimmer. Very well, Carter. For you. I will try. The sky above the moon exploded with light. Human warships broke through the darkness, cannons glowing as they aimed down at the crater. The captain's voice thundered through the comms. Prisoner Seraphis, surrender at once, or be destroyed along with your accomplice. Carter smirked bitterly. Guess they really don't like me anymore. Seraphis stepped forward, her hands lifting. The ground trembled as her energy rose. Violet light streamed upward, wrapping the shuttle in a dome of shimmering force. The first barrage of fire from the warship slammed against it, explosions blazing. But the shield held. The soldiers cheered on their comms. She's fighting us. Destroy her. Carter grabbed the controls of the shuttle, lifting it off the ground. We can't stay here. That shield won't hold forever. Seraphis closed her eyes, focusing. I will protect us until you find a way, human. The shuttle blasted upward, engines screaming. They shot into the sky as cannons fired from every angle. Each shot met the violet dome, shaking the ship. Carter's hands gripped the controls tight. "Hold on!" The fleet surrounded them like wolves around prey, dozens of ships against one small shuttle. The captain's voice cut through again. "You cannot escape, Carter. Hand over the alien, and you may yet live." Carter laughed under his breath. "Yeah, not happening." Seraphis' glow flickered, her body trembling. The strain of holding back so much fire pressed against her. Her voice broke through clenched teeth. "I cannot hold much longer." Carter's eyes scanned the fleet. Then he saw it. The flagship at the center, command vessel. If they could disable it, the rest would falter. He leaned closer to her. "Can you focus your power? Not to destroy, just to blind them. Just long enough for me to break through." She met his eyes, her breath ragged. "I can try, but if I fail—" "You won't," Carter said firmly. "Because I trust you, and because you trust me." Her chest rose sharply, her heart raced, but his words anchored her. She nodded once, then together. Her body erupted in light, but not the violent storm from before. This was focused, controlled, a single burst of brilliance brighter than any star. It washed across the battlefield, blinding sensors, burning out cameras, turning the fleet's vision to white. "Now," she cried. Carter roared the shuttle forward. Engines flared violet as Seraphis poured her energy into them. The small craft shot like a spear through the chaos, weaving between blinded ships, cannons firing wildly but missing. The flagship loomed. Ahead, Carter pulled hard on the controls, diving under its massive belly. He armed the shuttle's last missiles and launched. The explosions rocked the flagship, tearing through its power core. The giant vessel's lights flickered and died. The rest of the fleet panicked without command. Their formation broke. Some ships fled. Others hung silent in confusion. The comms crackled one last time with the captain's furious voice. "You cannot protect her forever, Carter. She is doom itself, and you will share her fate." Then silence as the flagship burned out and drifted lifeless in space. Carter slumped in his seat, breathless, his hands shaking from the rush. We did it." Beside him, Seraphis collapsed weakly against the console. Her glow dimmed, her voice soft. "Not we. You, human. You showed me restraint, you showed me another way." He caught her gently, supporting her, his voice low. "No. We did it together. Without you, I'd be nothing but dust out there." Her violet eyes met his, tired but shining. "Perhaps trust is stronger than fear." Carter smiled faintly, brushing dust from his uniform. "Guess we just proved it." The shuttle drifted through the broken battlefield. The stars opened before them, endless and waiting. For Seraphis, the last of her kind, and Carter, the human who defied his own people, the war was not over. But the bond they had forged was unbreakable, and in that bond lay hope. Hope for survival. Hope for peace. Hope that one human's reckless trust could change the fate of two worlds.